Okay, this is the Wednesday, September 1st, GreatStockPicks.com highlight video from our live trading chat room today. HIG is one of them. We had this on watch. We already had it on long watch because of the daily chart here. It looked pretty good. Well, then it, as often happens when the whole market gaps up, this one gapped up with it, and was set to open, I think, somewhere around here. So we put it on early watch. Let me switch to 5-minute candles now to show you the setup. I always like this when you have a stock that's got room to the left on the daily, and the gap after the gap up, it stays in a fairly narrow range. Again, 5-minute candles here. You can see the gap, early high of 20.59, and then after 5 minutes or so, it sold off down to 20.42. Okay, so it's in less than a 20-cent range, and as it came back up, called this as a high of day break 20.60, with a worst case stop at below the low of the day at 20.41. So that's 19 cents risk. And that's the reason why we want a narrow range if we're going to play a gap play. We're going to go high of day break, low of day stop. We know we like where it's gapping to on the daily chart. So for all those reasons, not to mention a lot of people try to fade every gap that's out there. And so the gap up here, you have in the first 10 minutes or so, you have some people shorting it thinking it's going to fill that gap. May fill that gap someday, but it wasn't going to be today. So certainly a low risk entry here, 19 cents risk. And from 20.60 ultimately, and you can see it almost closed at its highs. It went to 21.45. 85-cent move in our favor, again on 19 cents risk. This one did take about 15 or 20 minutes before it finally started moving to where you could comfortably go to a break-even stop, but still not a lot of risk there. OC is an example of one. Again, we did it again here. We caught this within about 5 minutes of the low of the day. Said if it breaks this candle, that's not the best circle, is it? If it breaks that candle to the upside, it was a buy. So called it as a buy right there. Let me get that right. With a worst case stop right there. I'll give you the numbers. The trigger to buy it was 26.63. Worst case stop only 15 cents below, and from 26.63 it moved 62 cents in our favor to the highest point there after our entry, but again on only 15 cents risk. So those were probably the best risk reward ones today. IVN is another example of one that we caught within 5 minutes of the high of the day for a short. We called it right below this candle here. There was the short idea. Again, we call these all, whoops, get rid of that one. We call these all in real time for our members, and there was a stop. So let me get those out of the way and I'll give you the numbers. We called IVN as a short at 18.92 right here. Said the worst case stop 18.99, 7 cents risk. Now this didn't exactly make a killing, but from 18.92 over the next half hour it did get down to 18.66. You know, about almost a 30-cent move in our favor. Again, on 7 cents risk, and really 5 or 10 minutes later you just had to decide whether you wanted to start taking profits or not. But you know, it's a good example of another one that we caught you know, very near the extreme of the day. Let me see if we have any other. NWS is another example. Again, not a lot of highlights today. I'm not calling too much. And again, well, let me show you the S&P here in just a second, but we called this one right here NWS at 14.50. Worst case stop, I think it was 14.41, so 9 cents risk there. And again, it didn't exactly tear it up, but from 14.50 you can see within 15 minutes it was almost up to 14.80. So certainly it's where do you want to pay yourself after that pop, and it was a nice here's a trigger, here's a stop, very low risk. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. The S&P after the 10 o'clock reports just shot straight up, and so if we didn't have a gap play or something like that, then most of the rest of the day, if we weren't long something here, look what the market did the rest of the day. I mean, just straight sideways. So there wasn't a lot of opportunities. Luckily, we had a couple gap plays on watch, and we did catch that IVN short and OC long. You know, try to find some other anomalies. But other than that, not a lot going on. All right, we're going to wrap this up, and we'll see everybody. We'll send another highlight video out from tomorrow's trading tomorrow night. Have a great night.